Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's me, Paddy from across the Shock. And yes, I'm back with a video. Now, there's been a long gap. Well, I'll not go into too much of detail. First of all, I just want to get this out. Would you please like if you enjoy this video, subscribe if you want to see some more, and comment really makes a big difference with the algorithms with YouTube. I don't get paid by YouTube. I just do this because I hate the adverts, so I've tried to take them away for you. But doing these things really help me because at the minute YouTube keep taking off the back end. They give me new subscribers, all right, but they keep taking them off the back end from people who maybe don't watch. Well, people who watch but maybe don't do any of these three things. They're all free, doesn't cost you anything. If you would be so kind, it would really mean the world to me if you would do that. So that's it. Why haven't I been about? Well, as you might have known, last Monday, my sister-in-law collapsed when she was out for a meal with her husband, and her heart actually stopped for 12 minutes before she got resuscitation. I don't know the full details. I just know that's what happened. She was down for 12 minutes, and then somebody started CPR. Normally a catastrophe. Somehow she managed to survive it. She ended up in a coma, and she was kept in the coma for a few days. Then they tried to let her off. It didn't work. Nothing was going. They thought she'd had a heart attack, a bleed to the brain. They'd done the tests, couldn't find anything to substantiate that. So at the minute as it stands, basically, we think she had just a heart seizure. For whatever reason, I don't know, her heart just stopped. Now, she's 73. She's a young chick, but she's 73. Within 2 days from that, first time that they took her off the ventilator and all, she started to come out of it. Just her eyes opening, and she was able to squeeze the doctor's hand. We don't know how much she can't remember any of it, but she managed to squeeze his hand, which gave them great hope. And then within another 2 days, she had just come round. She couldn't get her voice to work. She was mouthing things they could kind of understand, but she recognised faces when they came into the room, as in, her children, her husband, and my wife, which was just amazing. And now, to let you know, she's sitting up at the side of a bed with no ventilation, no tubes. She gets a wee bit of help with the air at the minute, and that's it. She's sitting up. It's just a miracle that's just watched in front of our eyes, which is just amazing. But we just wish her every success, that she keeps on getting better. Again, most people don't like this word, but God is good. I don't know how she has survived it. It doesn't look as if she's going to have any great lasting problems. Short-term memory is gone completely, but that's starting to get better. She's starting to remember things a couple of days ago or who visited. So that is just, it's all good signs. And we just wish that keeps going. So that's it. So enough of my family problems. The next thing is I got some knives out here because I'd missed my Saturdays and I missed my sort of rambles. So this is going to be a kind of a ramble. And my rambles will go on a bit. So get a cup of tea, pause this, get a cup of tea, or watch it a bit later. It's going to go on a bit. And what it is knives that I've been using the most since the start of the new year. Knives that have, some of them are new to me, some of them are not. But they're knives that I've been using and really enjoying. A couple of them are Rosecraft, which I'm sponsored by Rosecraft. They sent me a free knife every time they get a new one out, and I'm always using their newest ones in trials. But I'm now starting to carry them as well. But these are some of the ones, and I'll sort of go through roughly why I carry them and why I'm finding them useful. Now, there's more than this because it's been 7 weeks or something, 8 weeks since the start of the month, since the start of the year, I should say. But these are the in general, and I'm going to give you reasons why I carry these type of knives. First of all, my EDC. This one is in my little pouch, which it's not at the minute, but this is in my pouch. So anytime I leave the house, this is with me. This is the Bexar Bear in Magna Cut, and this is a tactile turn pen, or tactile, not tactile turn, because that's the pens. This is their tactile pen. It's slim, which is fantastic if you're going to put a knife in a pouch. It's got a good depth of a blade. So it gives it a bit rigidity. It's not just a fragile blade. This will cut and do anything I've put it to. It's a lovely thin blade stock. So as a slicer, it's amazing. And most of my EDC work, whether it's indoors or outdoors, is going to be slicing. So this is perfect to have this, and with the MagnaCut, which is a nice tough steel, no matter what I need to do, once I leave the house, I feel completely covered. Absolutely covered. Now, what do I carry? No, in fact, I'm going to go the other way. When I'm going out now, I'm sort of changing. In the house, I'll carry whatever I want. But when I'm going out, I like to carry a substantial knife. And when I say substantial, I don't mean big, but one that's maybe got, a decent blade thickness, like this one has. This is my Dean Robertson Dino, and I've loved this now since I got this last year. I love this Dino pattern. It's such a useful blade. You have that bit of belly, you have a point, you have a nice drop down here. It's like a modified sheep's foot nearly, do you know what I mean? It's that type of knife that'll do anything. I love the handle, I love the looks of it, and it's a nice one to have as a nice person when I go out. So it's one of the ones I carry a lot when I'm going out now, and I tend to do that. Another one was one of the new ones, and hence why I've probably been carrying it so much. But this is a knife from Self-Made Knives, and I just adore this. I just adore it as well. Another just unusual pattern, beautiful in hand, big fat blade with a belly. It's still got a point on it. It'll still poke through things, but just a super blade. Absolutely adorable. Just adore this knife. Love it. Self-Made Knives, if you haven't seen them, as well as Dean Robertson. He's an American custom maker, but this is a homegrown UK maker. Brass bolsters on this, and I'm just letting them go because I'm not a polisher, as you know. I don't really polish, so I'm just letting them go natural. I haven't put any acid or anything on them. Well, acid by I mean apples, orange, or whatever, but I just use it it's a good sturdy knife. It's not a thick blade, but the whole knife is just a worker, do you know what I mean? So when you go out, it's nice to have a knife that'll do a bit more of the heavy task rather than using maybe a very thin one. So that's where I'm going at the minute. And I say, it don't have to be big ones. These are my customs, and I don't carry all my customs out all the time, but these are two that are just making their way into my pocket more than others. The other one is this is an Ashley Harrison. We just got done, me, Mikey, and Justin, we just got done. This is an 01 tool steel, where these are powdered metal steels. This is a 01 tool steel, an amazing worker. I just love this knife. And this has got the green liners that you're going to have in the new, our new Paddy and Pals knife. Can't wait to get that to you. Not be long now, folks. It's just beautiful. This is just a classic Barlow. Thick enough stock that it'll do anything that these two will do. It's a good working heavy duty light knife, if that makes any sense. So they're the knives that I tend to take out with me, and I always have this. I have this all the time now. This is a new thing that I started last year. It was Tobias always said, you always have a knife with you that you understand, you know what it can do. I fully back that now. So I do carry this one every day. This is in my little wallet. It's in my, that's a wallet. And it's all my little tools, pens, torches, whatever I want in there. I also have a little diamond sharpener in there, which is wafer thin, but will do it a push. So, enjoying that. The working knives again, let's go away from the sort of taken out, but working knives in the house, I've always had this. This has always been a favourite, and I'm keeping on using it because I just love it. It's such an all-rounder. Nice thick blade. Well, that's not thick, but it's got a hollow grind from Ashley. This is an Ashley knife. This is one in 01 tool steel. Proper Ashley custom, but there's no stamp on it, as you can see. It was one he was just trialing out, getting this positioned right, and I got this for 50 quid on Instagram, and this is before I really knew Ashley, so they're out there and you can get them. He puts knives up, but really reasonable. I just love the wooden scales on these, just absolutely beautiful. But this is a great little work knife. I also, as you can see by it's more darkened up at this end, if I've got a steak or something and this is in my pocket, it comes out and it does as my steak knife because it's just perfect for that. It really is. Lovely knife. So I've been carrying that, as always, quite a lot. But another one for tougher jobs, and for maybe taking down when I'm doing boxes and things like that down the bin room, is the new farmhand from Rosecraft. This is their version of the Saudi. And what a fantastic, you got wood that has got a checker pattern on the outside of it. It is just beautiful. Lovely size blade. Comes down to a fairly thin point, but this is more of a worker. It's a good thick stock, and it's just fantastic in-hand worker for breaking up boxes or whatever I tend to do down the bin room. Loving this. Really is a great work knife. And it sort of blends, you know, it very much goes along the same lines as my Ashley. Just a great budget, I'm going to say, because this is only about just under 60 quid, I think. And it's got D2 steel on it. It's just a super knife. This is 01 tool steel, which I really do like. This is the newest Rosecraft that I've had. And I just think, looks-wise, there's nothing much around that's going to beat that. Look at that tight grain in that pearl wood. It is gorgeous in the dots in it. And this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little blue, what do they call that? What do they call that plastic? Don't know what to call it, but look at the join in it. Look at how beautifully that's done. It really is gorgeous. And you've got bits of like, it's nearly, you would nearly think it's like bits of pearl shell in there. It's just gorgeous. Little rosebud. And it's a little kayak. Unusual shape. A lot of people love it or hate it. An awful lot of people are getting to like it because they're buying it and actually using it. It's a super sturdy little, really, this is the sort of modern version of, what would I say this is a modern version of? Let me just show you what I think this is a real modern version of a, oh, it's up here. Sorry. Can't think of the name of the blooming thing. Look at that. The CRKT Pillar, which was it's just a stalwart in any collection. You should have one. Super little box cutter, 4 fingers, super job. This is the fancy updated version. About the same cutting edge, about the same size, but the difference in how classy does this look to this very functional and very usable knife. But there you go. There's one for taking in your pocket outside. I just think it's super. It's got a thinner stock than this, which gives it a better slicing ability, to be honest with you. Although I'm going to have to say, in the smaller knives that Rosecraft do, I wish they would take a millimetre off their blades. Just take a millimetre off their blades and the back spring. And I think these would be so much better as an EDC carry. It'll make them a little bit more slicey. I'm going to go on talking about, I've been using this, and this is just an amazing, it's one of my users anyway. This is great for peeling apples because it's got a nice thin stock, really nice and thin behind the edge. Super for cutting. This one cuts, and I've been using it to cut apples, but it's more of a splitter than a slicer because of that real quite thick blade stock. I would love to see a millimetre off the blades, and I think that would be an even better EDC knife. But it's blooming good the way it is. Do not get me wrong. This is a real, you can poke, stab, do whatever you like. It's a super well-made knife. And again, in D2, just a super job. And I've shown you this one. I've been eating an awful lot of apples again recently, and I've been using these, but this is a super apple slicer. But probably the one that I've been using the most for fruit and that is I've got into this wee thing again. This is the little Boker Barlow. I got this a few years ago. This was a special edition, came in the micarta. Lovely badge in there, but a lovely Barlow. I'm trying to see. This is an 01 tool steel as well, which is fantastic. This one's in 1095. But this is an apple peeler. This is probably one of the best apple peelers I've ever had. And it is amazing. You forget just how slim the little blades are in these Boker Barlows. Super, super thin blades. 01 tool steel in this one. They do it in all different steels, but an absolute demon. A little small knife's always better for peeling an apple, but this is just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. And I'm really enjoying it for lots of reasons. One, I love a thin blade because you can usually just stop them after you use them and you're bringing them back to perfect sharpness again. I really like that. But just a slip in your pocket when I'm running about in a pair of tracksuit bottoms or something, it's just so light. I really do like my traditionals for that reason alone. Here's another one that I keep strangely coming back to. This is I don't know why I'm saying strangely because it's a little Rough Rider. It's a Rough Rider Barlow, no big R, so it looks beautiful. It's a cinnamon stag bone, just gorgeous. I mean, you can see why I'm using it because I'm starting to wear it off in my hand here. You know, it just wears off. My finger always sits here and when I'm using it, but it's fantastic. Absolutely stunning. This one is in the carbon steel. Now, I haven't been using it for my apples yet, but I've been using it just so regular. It's carbon steel. It just comes straight back after a strop. Super, super, really inexpensive knife. I think it was about £22 or something like that. What a fantastic offering from Rough Rider. Just love it. And in carbon steel. More of them, please. Don't be like Case. Let's get more carbon. And probably the last two is the ones that I've probably used the most. I love this. I only got this, I think it was the beginning of this year or very late last year. This is the 15 in a clip point. It took me ages to get one. This is my dream Barlow. You know the 15 pattern is my favourite, but in the Barlow, it's just amazing. I use this constantly. It goes in my pocket. And I've done it before I've even thought most times. I just lift it. This one's getting to be like that as well. I'm using it a lot. But this is typical GEC, just a stunning little knife. Really, really love this knife in use. That's never changed. Funny, the number 15 pattern, still my favourite pattern for an EDC knife. Absolutely. But I've been using this one, which stag is something that, you know, I don't carry that much, but by gosh, this one has really changed. Michael made me this from Arthur Wright and Son, the owner. He made this one specially for me. I asked him, and he done it in their stag. This is the more reasonably priced stag. Maybe not as glamorous as its big brothers and sisters, the red deer stag, but I love this stag. I love the cuts and everything on it. It's just lovely. Really is. Beautiful. I suppose I have to call it a spear, but to me it's just a large pen blade, which is one of the most useful blades that we've got in there. But Michael also chased that up the back for me, which is lovely. It's something he does by hand with a hammer and chisel. I adore this knife. The most solid knife. Just beautiful. I love it. And with the girth on it, just makes it very comfortable to use. And I've really been giving this some testing this month. And absolutely love it. Just love it. So I think that's it, folks. I think I've gone through the knives I use the most and the reasons why I do them. There's nothing complicated about it. I mean, when I go out, I've got this really thin one, so I'm starting to take a more substantial, they're all UK legal, but a substantial blade, just in case I want that. I want that bit of, rigidness, or I want that something that I can do things with that you don't want to do with a very thin blade. But having this with me, just what an absolute bonus. Love, love, love this as an everyday carry in the true sense of the word. It's been doing this for, must be near 6 months now. I've been carrying this every single day. But seems like 6 months because I can't remember not having it. And the other ones, yeah, they do change around. But this last few weeks, these are the ones that have really impressed me. They've really made me feel good, and I enjoy carrying them. I mean, after having used this now for quite a few weeks, I think it is a super little knife. But I really would maybe next year, Andy, or whenever I think thinning down the smaller EDC blades, I think taking the blade stock down, at least a millimetre anyway, I think would make such a difference as a cutting tool. What do you think out there? Do you feel the same? I mean, I love this knife, but I just think to improve this, thin the blade stock down. I think you'd have you'll have a much more, look, there it is with my number 15. You'd have with a thinner blade stock, you would definitely have a nicer slicing tool. So there we go. That's my opinions on my wee knives that I carry. I hope they're not too far away from yours. Thank you very much for watching. Do you know, it's actually really nice to get behind the camera. I've been putting this off for days. I just didn't have the will to do it. But I'm really glad I did. And there'll be another one very soon because I've enjoyed my little chat with you again. I feel as if when I don't do a video for a while and I get back and I start talking, I know I'm talking to a camera, but it's my friends on the other side of it. I truly think I'm talking to you personally. And I hope that comes across when I'm telling you how I feel about a knife. But anyhow, there we are. Enough waffle. Thank you for being patient. And I know that most of you, nobody's going to go anywhere. We're going to take a week off. But thank you so much. And I'll see you very shortly for another video. Take care now. Bye-bye.